red flowers?
Yeah.
I was checking that out. That's how you keep the deer, everything from eating it?
That's
cage?
Monarda didyma.
Okay.
And actually, that willow tree was given to me by a live out apprentice group
Oh, nice.
because we did the trees of the 13 moons and I didn't have a willow tree. And I made them walk all the way down the road to the
I
willow
saw
tree.
that. I was like,
And they
wait,
gave, and of course, the willow tree that they gave me was like this big, right?
it's doing what?
So we put a small fence around it, and then a bigger fence around that because if you just put the big fence, the deer will jump it and eat your sapling. And if you just put the small fence, they'll eat your sapling. So you have to do the two fence thing, right?
Yeah.
You make the little fence right around the sapling, and then far enough out, but close enough in that the deer look at it and go, I'm not going to try that, right? And technically, we could take that fence down
At this point.
because the ruminants don't eat mince.
Yeah,
Right? The goats are not eating the oregano. They're not going to eat the bergamot. They don't eat the catnip. They don't eat the mentha arvensis. They don't eat the lemon balm. Right? So the deer are not going to pay any much attention. The shiso, they'll leave it alone. Interesting. The rabbits won't eat the mint family either.
Oh.
Mhm.
Why is that? They think it's because of the glyphosate.
Volatile oils.
Yeah, the volatile. Doesn't taste good to them.
Does not taste good to them, exactly.
I have seen the deer eat like the baby motherwort
The baby mother.
right in the spring, but not the mature plants.
But not the mature plants.
Yeah.
Right? So that bergamot is a Monarda didyma, and it's a pure red bergamot or bergamot, also known as bee balm. My first encounter with this plant was doing a weed walk in someone's garden, and she had bees in the garden, and a bee stung me right on the tip of my nose.
Ooh.
And she reached over and flicked the stinger out, and then reached over to the bee balm, which was the red Monarda didyma, gave a head of it to me and said, chew it up and put it on your nose. So then I really looked like a clown. But I figured without it, my nose would be big and red anyhow. So, and it definitely took the sting away from it. If you go out to a store to buy bergamot, they will sell you plants in beautiful colors. Purples and pinks and lavenders, and none of those are going to be useful to you.
Right. No, it's not. You have the actual one that's
The actual
okay,
medicinal
this
one,
area.
right?
Yeah. I saw that.
There is a wild bergamot
Yeah.
in our area which has a lavender flower, and all of the ones that aren't red are incredibly rich in oregano oil, making anything you make with them taste like pizza.
Spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
I use them in spaghetti sauce.
It's great in tomato. If you want it to taste like oregano,
Yeah.
those bergamot leaves are fine. But I grow the red bergamot because we harvest it, and next sunny day we're going to harvest it and start hanging it to dry. And for each ounce of comfrey, I put one stalk of red bergamot. We just harvest like the top flower part, right? So about 12 to 14 inches off the top, right? So there's some leaves and a flower, and one of those per ounce of comfrey. And people always say to us, what did you do to your comfrey infusion? Does comfrey infusion taste good? One stalk of bergamot is all it takes to change that. And you can do this to any of your infusions. Our red clover has a pinch of mint in it, yes. Because I find red clover quite tannic, like black tea, and I don't like black tea and tannic things. So I put a pinch of mint in my red clover. It's a tiny amount, yes? I mean, literally, what you can pinch with
per ounce.
a pinch per ounce, right? And you think this is not going to do anything at all, but it does. It really changes the taste in a very subtle way. And you can add anything from the mint family to any one of your infusions to make that subtle change. But again, small amounts, very small amounts. Wild carrot. I think I've been seeing wild carrot leaves in the salad. Very nice, very rich in potassium. And of course, the wild carrot blossoms, also known as Queen Anne's lace, are beautiful in the salad. Right? I love the summer salads with Queen Anne's lace and daisies, and clovers, and mint flowers are just exquisitely gorgeous. Virginia creeper, five-finger ivy is the better appellation for it, as Kat pointed out. And giant chickweed. The chickweed of medicine is Stellaria media, And it's a small plant. You might still be able to find some on the deck in the shaded areas. But once we get into the real heat of June and July and August, Stellaria media is like, oh, excuse me, I'm going somewhere cold. She'll come back again in the fall when it chills off, but she doesn't like the summer. But there's a giant chickweed, Stellaria pubera, all right? And the leaf of the Stellaria media is about that big, maybe half to 3/4 of an inch, whereas the leaf of the giant chickweed is easily 2 to 3 times as big. Right, so again, the stalk can be used, and I just nip off the last bit of that stalk. If it's flowering, that's fine. And again, it will branch, and you'll get a thicker and thicker patch of it. There has been a really thick patch by the compost pile. There was a lot of work done on those compost piles this spring, and truck activity and so on. So the patch might be a little but there's a garden with a new gate. Oh, hurrah for Work Exchange. All right. Right there by the compost piles, and go and look in there, and there might be more giant chickweed in that garden as well.